Back again with a new video. My last video I talked about my Ukraine package, and I'm pretty sure at some point in the video I mentioned how I was getting in a Portuguese lot and a Belgian lot. And well, the Belgian lot is on its way, but the Portuguese lot shown up. So I'm super excited. Before I dive in, I'll just show off one item that came in. That has nothing to do with Portugal. It actually has something to do with Belgium. So this is Rick Copen's, and this is a 1957 zigzag. So if you've seen the channel, you know that I have several of these. I actually have them to my side right here. And they're super cheap. I think I got that for $2.50. Just because I was the only person that was watching it. So, but here are the other ones that I had handy. I think these are the only three that I have, but I think those are three great ones to have, especially the mermans. But yeah. So I'm happy to get that in. And that's it besides the Portugal package. So first I got in a single page. I got in a single page from the 1944 Fabrica Universal album. And it was the Sporting CP page. And if you know anything about this album and the issues, that it has 3 of the 5 violins. And so what that means is in the late 40s and 50s, in the 40s and the early 50s, the attacking lineup of Sporting was phenomenal. They went on to win the Tier 1 league in Portugal plenty of times, and they were dominant when they existed. And of the 5, 3 of the rookies are found in this album, 2 of which are found on the Sporting page. The other one is found on a different page. And then it also shows a card of the main player in Sporting, Peroteo. So this is from the loan page that I got in, because I got in a complete album for the 1944, and I got in a loan page, and I unstuck them. They came out as well as they could. They basically just fell off the page during the process, which was awesome. And what it was they were pasted into the album with kind of like a brown paste. And so as soon as that touched water, it was water soluble, and it just fell off the page. And however, the only thing is sometimes you're left with this browning on the stickers, and this is super common on this issue. So that's the Peroteo. And then you have the only other rookie that shows up in the album. Of those 3 players, I'm still learning Portugal issues. I'm still learning Portugal players, and I'm not sure who else of note. The rookie shows up. Plenty of other players show up, like Pinga and Julinho and Arsenio Duarte, which I showed off a autograph picture of his the other day. I actually think, I know I have a second photograph of his coming in as well. I think autographed on the back. So that's his rookie, and then it's also 2 others who are on the Sporting page, or Correa, and then Albano. So I was planning on keeping the doubles because I have them in my page and they look magnificent in the album. At some point I will remove them. I'll probably remove all the players of note in my album, but I planned on keeping the doubles, you know, hopefully taking them to the national next year. Well, I guess the next national in the summer of 2026. But something has come up. So I'm using, I already sold these two. I sold these to Ed. Shout out Ed. But I sold those. If you're interested in these, you know, send me a message. I have them up on the Discord. Both of these are Pop 1 at PSA. You know, just to talk about it, the PSA Pop does not define rarity. It does not define rarity because those are Pop 1s. This is Pop 3. This is Pop 5. They're all, I think the highest grade out of all players is this one, and it's a 1.5. It's the highest in the PSA database. All the other ones are authentics. I mean, of course, you know, some of them are creased. The back looks like this. That's just what's going to happen. And so you don't really worry about you know, you look at the eye appeal, the sticker, the registration of the player. You know, sometimes they look a little blurry, washed out. This is not. So they look great. And so I'm happy to move on. You know, I sold those pretty much immediately. I knew I was going to. But yeah, so. Oh, shoot. But yeah, so I'm selling these, and whoever buys these two will get the rest of the page on all the other players that came off the page. So I'm happy to do that. Before we dive into the albums, I'll go through the singles because I bought individual rookies and, you know, other cards from my contact. I'm really happy to have found them. So this guy is another one that's moving on. So this is 1967. It's Eusebio out of Portugal. Really clean black. Really clean back. But yeah, no, I'm excited to have this one. But somebody I've been talking to, somebody that I have been talking to in the Discord, you know, has let me know that this is one of the last ones he needs to complete his run. And we have come up with a deal that him and I are making a trade. I'm trading him this, and in turn, I am getting some rookies that I do not have. And so I'm really happy with the outcome. It really is super beneficial to the collection, and I don't have to look for those names anymore. So I'm moving on from that. So that's everything that I'm selling and trading away, and then everything else I am keeping. So Jose Aguayas. This is the 1950 Fabrica Universal rookie. Pop 1 in USA. Here's the back. But it looks so nice. So I'm really happy to have that. Cross his name off the list. Here's a 1945 Universal, Fabrica Universal of Peroteo. So now I have 2 Peroteos. Well, I had 3, but I sold 1. So I'm happy to have 2. Here's a 64 Eusebio. Here is a 1970 or 72 Eusebio. You know, if somebody also wants this one, I have a list of Eusebios that I do want, and I'm okay. You know, like this wasn't on it. This was just a happy surprise. I'm happy to trade that away. I would be happy to trade or sell this one too. You know, so if you're interested, go for it. If not, it'll stay in the collection. And then I got 3 Fernando Gomez rookies, all from my team. 74, I think? Yeah. Here's the backs. 2 are pretty solid. This one looks okay too. It has the number. It has the number from the album page that it was taken off of. Now to get into the albums, and so I bought 2 albums. The first one is an F1 album, 1984, and I really love this set. It's out of Portugal, of course. And I bought it. The main reason I bought it is because it shows Ayrton Senna, his rookie, or Senna. So there is one of, technically he has 3 or 4 rookies, 2 of them that shows a portrait. This is my favorite by far. But another reason why I like this album is its page showing 2 legends. And I don't, I just really like the, so Alan Prost and Niki Lauda. This is after his accident, of course, but way after. I really like that. And so that's really fun to have. I really wanted this album represented in my collection. But the main piece is the 1944 Fabrica Universal album. So the page that I was talking about earlier looked exactly like, I'm having difficulty. Here we go. Looks just like this. So there's the Albano, the one that is staying in my collection. There's the Peroteo. And the Carrera. So I really like that. Let me find the other player. How do you pronounce his name? There's a number of other legends scattered throughout this album. I won't go into detail about them, though. But there are plenty others. He's right there. So for right now, this album is going to stay intact. Just because I don't want to mess with it right now. But at some point, I will tackle removing the majority of the cards from the majority of my albums, because I'm starting to have not starting. I have been having a really huge pile, and I'm looking to add to it. I know if everything goes correctly, I'll add 3 more. If everything goes correctly by the end of this month. And I think my goals for the year are about met. There were 2 albums at the very top of my list. I think I'm scratching one of them off because I think I'll be able to work out a deal to get some of the issues from one album, and that will neglect me looking for the other album. So it's a bunch of fun. I enjoy hunting. I really do. All right, I think that's it. I think that's everything I have to show. I don't know when the next episode will be. It just depends on when packages come in. But yeah, all right, peace.